Hi, I'm Roger Mader with AMPERSAND. Let's talk about finding the future first. Do you recognize this? This is the Nautilus Submarine, here depicted in the Disney film from the 1950s, but it originated in the book by Jules Verne of 1870, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And in this book, he talks about Captain Nemo traversing the globe by going under the Arctic ice cap in this electric submarine. Amazingly, in 1956, the USS Nautilus actually did pass under the Arctic ice cap in an electric submarine, electricity generated by nuclear energy, in order to achieve exactly what Jules Verne anticipated. He did this a lot. In his book, From the Earth to the Moon, he anticipated rocketry being able to escape the Earth's atmosphere in order to get to the moon. He anticipated lunar landing craft, which showed up in 1969. Now remember, this is 1865. We're in the US Civil War at this time, when he's thinking about things that would come to pass over a century later. He anticipated solar sails, using solar winds in order to push spacecraft through the vacuum of space. He anticipated the first news broadcast, which took place in 1920, where he described how sound could be conveyed wirelessly. He even talked about atmospheric advertising, which at the time was really more like a Blade Runner image that was projected into the sky. How was Verne able to imagine so many breakthroughs accurately? Well, according to his biographer, Rosalind Williams, it wasn't magic. He was just paying attention. And what she meant by that is that Verne was a scientist. He was a member of the Royal Society, and he was really at the end of an era where it was possible to be expert in multiple domains of science, because they were really just emerging. By virtue of his collaboration with others, and his wide reading and his deep knowledge, he was able to converge on ideas that would bring together domains of science, technology, human behavior, society, in order to project what might be possible in the future. Similarly, there's a thesis put forward by Stephen Johnson. Johnson's a journalist, historian, who's described where good ideas come from. And he notes that the coffee shops of the 1600s in England were this incredibly fervent arena for discussion and exchange of ideas that brought together men, in this case, to talk about the great ideas of the day. He describes how history rewards the connected mind in his terrific book, Where Good Ideas Come From. This notion of bringing ideas together, as Verne did through his scientific work, as society does through these gathering places, and as modern society does through the interconnectedness of the internet, allows for a really fruitful environment for new ideas to take root. William Gibson, the science fiction writer, described this when asked how he anticipated so many things, from the internet to video games to virtual reality. And he said, "It's because the future's already here, it's just unevenly distributed." Now, what he meant by that is that when you look on the periphery of society, you can start to see in the extremes these emerging technologies and behaviors. Join us for part 2. Find the future first by gaining a new perspective.